After a disappointing loss and a disappointing performance to a very good Boise State team, we're excited to begin October and get into our MAC schedule. I think we knew going into the season that our non-conference schedule would be difficult and very challenging, and then now we get a chance to see how well prepared we are for MAC play. I first of all want to thank our fans and our students and all the great support we got for Saturday night's game. It was an awesome environment. It was great to take the field and see a packed house and have the fans so vocal. Disappointed we didn't play better than we did, but we're grateful for that support, and hopefully we'll see more of that this week and the coming weeks at home. And now we got to get ready to play a very tough Ohio team that's 2-2 and really a very good football team. On offense, very good skill. I really like their quarterback, Theo Scott. A really good athlete. He's capable of running a lot of their option stuff and also very efficient throwing the football. Threw the football for over 300 yards against Tennessee, which is not a small feat. They're a very difficult offense to prepare for in a week's time because they bring elements of a triple option offense together with a spread and a pretty good passing game. And they really have good offensive skill. I really like their receivers, Price and Brazil. They have an excellent tailback in Garrett, who's also a really good kick returner. Defensively, they're a very physical team. There are 11 starters. They're all juniors and seniors. Of the 7 seniors, I believe 4 are redshirt seniors, so they're fifth-year guys. And of the 4 juniors, I believe 2 are redshirt. So you have 9 of 11 of the starting guys in defense have been there for 4 years. They're big up front. Their 2 tackles are 295 and 340. Their ends are in the 250 range. They've got 3 very good, experienced linebackers, and they run extremely well in the secondary. So this is a very good team we're playing.
3 straight losses. Does guys start to hang their heads? Does that start to fester a little bit, or can they just go ahead and move on to the next week?
Well, when you invest a lot into a football game and you're not successful, I mean, it's disappointing. But we knew when the season started that September was going to have a lot of tough challenges for us, and obviously we didn't want to be 1-3, but we gave ourselves a chance to win 3 games. In 1, we got it done, and 2, we didn't make plays in the fourth quarter. And then 1 game, we didn't play well, and we played an exceptional football team. So I think we have enough seniors on our team, enough good leaders, enough guys that have played that understand the non-conference schedule is over. Our primary goal and objective is to win the MAC, and we're undefeated in the MAC right now. So again, we turn the page, and it's kind of a second season for us.
Do you think you'll have Jimmy Scheidler this week?
I hope so. So he did. He was at practice yesterday, participated in some of the periods, not all of them. But if he continues to make progress, we're optimistic we're going to have him, and that will be a big help to our offense. We certainly missed not having him on Saturday.
How about Willie Jeter?
Yeah, Willie will be good to go. We took him out in the second half for precautionary reasons, and on Sunday he was a lot healthier than we expected, and we were glad. And then on Sunday he ran around well, and he looked really good at practice yesterday. So we fully expect to have Willie ready.
Do you expect to try and use Willie more to develop the run against Ohio?
Yeah, I mean certainly the Missouri game we got him going. The Marshall game, because of all the injuries we took midway through the game at the tight end position, we certainly didn't get him the ball as much as we'd like. In the first half at Boise, he was very involved. So I've said it before, we want to be more balanced than we've been. Sometimes you get situations in the game that you're forced to throw the football, but if we can stay on schedule, we'd like to be more balanced, and Willie's going to be our primary ball carrier. That won't change.
You mentioned Chris Garrett, the running back that they have, but I mean, he had a 95-yard kick return for a touchdown against Tennessee. So what do you see with him on special teams?
He's fast. He has very good vision. Some guys just have a knack for doing that stuff, and he's one of those guys that just knows how to set blocks up. He anticipates what crease is going to open, and then once he gets into the open field, he has the speed to pull away from people. And the kickoff return he had against Tennessee was exactly that. I mean, it was a nice setup, a very well executed return, but he got into a third gear and he was off to the races. And it's having coached at Tennessee, I know some of the guys that were chasing him and how fast they are, so that was a very impressive return.
And then Theo Scott, you mentioned the quarterback that they have. Do you know, is Boo Jackson hurt, or did they just make a switch?
It appears that Theo won the job, and that's what it looks like on film, that Theo was playing really well, and obviously played really well a week ago against Tennessee. And so I'm not sure if Boo's hurt or not, but we expect to see Theo Scott.
Okay, that was my question, was do you expect to see, I guess, a little bit of both, or just Theo?
No, they don't even have Boo listed on the depth chart anymore, so I don't know if he got injured or they're trying to redshirt him or what. I don't know what they're doing. We expect to see Theo as the quarterback, though. Okay,
and you mentioned, the 300-yard game that he had against Tennessee. What do you do to try to stop him? Is it just pressure him, or?
No, you got to be careful pressuring him because he's a great athlete. He's one of those kind of athletic quarterbacks that has really developed as a passer. And if you look at film from a year ago, I think a lot of people thought the plan is keep him in the pocket, and now he's sitting back in the pocket and throwing for 300 yards. And that's why they're very difficult to defend. You just can't say if you take away the zone read game or if you take away the option game and force them to throw the football, you'll be fine. I mean, right now they're throwing it really well. He's very accurate. And it really gets dangerous when he escapes the pocket. He had a play against Connecticut, and Connecticut had a good rush, and he scrambled. He threw a 60-yard ball. He's a right-handed quarterback sprinting to his left down the field, and he hit a guy in stride. So I'm sure they're really happy with how he's playing.
Okay, and then this will be my last question, but you mentioned before...
I think you're limited to 3.
I'm trying to cut it off this week.
I haven't used mine yet, so she can have it.
Okay.
Now trying to go over my limit.
Do you play all of this on the video? Or?
No, most of it I just use to write out for sideline stuff, but most of it they don't use on the news. No, I was just going to say with the problems you're having in the red zone against Missouri and Marshall, and then nothing got better, I guess, against Boise State playing a tough team like that. But what are your thoughts on the red zone problems you were having coming into
the red zone against Boise? We got down there 3 times. We scored 2 touchdowns and we missed the field goal. So, it was very disappointing to have the ball for 7 minutes in the opening drive and come away without points. I mean, that was. With what happened at Marshall, what happened at Missouri, you play a big game like that, and you get a break on a punt that they run into you, and then you march the thing all the way down the field and get inside the 10, and they come away empty and miss a field goal again was disappointing. But after that, it was more turnovers and breakdowns in the red zone, and the 2 red zone opportunities we got in the second half we scored on. So, but again, leaving the Marshall game and the Missouri game, no question, that was an area that we had to address. And even though we didn't score enough points, I thought that area clearly got better at Boise.
Okay, so do you feel better about it than heading into Ohio?
Yeah, that's a week-by-week deal. I mean, my concern, we've missed 3 of our last 4 kicks. After being 3 for 3 in field goals, we've now hit 1 of our last 4. You just when you drive the ball 80 yards, you need to come away with something, and that would it have changed the game? No, but we'd had a 3-0 lead. And now when they're up 14 points or they're up 7 points, you're a touchdown away from taking the lead. And in football, you like to keep it that you have so many possessions get you the lead or ties you the game. And once it becomes a 3 or 4 possession game, then that's when things get out of hand because you got to get away from your base offense. You're either just going to stay balanced and say you're not going to try to win, or if you're ever going to play catch up and be behind by that many in the second half, you've got to lengthen the game and throw it more. And that's really where we've gotten out of whack in terms of our balance.
In practice, do you sense a little anticipation from your guys to start a second season, like they're ready to get this going in the conference?
Football's a day-by-day deal. And we had a good practice yesterday. We had a good practice last Tuesday.
we have an older team. We have a bunch of seniors. We have a bunch of guys that have played. They know what's at stake. Now, how does that